What does that even mean, Bowers game?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review, another special expansion review. And today I'm very excited to check out Star Realms United from White Wizard Games. And this is going to be 4 individual expansion packs. I do believe that they're going to be releasing for Star Realms. I picked these up at Gen Con. I mixed them all together. I played with them a couple times. And now I'm going to tell you what I think about them. Are they worth getting? Let's open it up and I'll tell you. Alright, so we're going to take a look at what you're going to get instead of Star Realms United. Before we get started, I do want to mention this is actually going to come in like 4 mini expansion packs. I've got it all combined together, but I'll tell you exactly how it works. So first you're going to get the Hero Factions ability. They'll have little H's on the bottom left-hand corner. And the Hero Faction abilities are going to be like the heroes that you already know, except they're slightly different. They cost from 3 to 5, which is more expensive than the original heroes, but they're going to have an added ability of not only when you scrap them do they do something, but when you purchase them, they are going to give you a special ability and unlock a certain color for you, which is really kind of unique. So for instance, you purchase this Confessor Morris, you may scrap up to 2 cards in your hand or discard pile, which is really useful, and you're also triggering a red ability. For those of you who don't remember how these work, when you purchase it, it immediately goes out like a ship. It just goes right there, and no one can destroy it until you decide to scrap it, and then it's out of the game. I'll tell you what I think about these in a little bit, but we'll go over some of them. The yellow one, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. Also, same thing down here. We went over Confessor Morris, same thing. Screecher, this one only costs 3. It's going to give you a green special ability to do 2 damage, and you may scrap a card in the trade row. Likewise down there. The Hive Lord, scrap any number of cards currently in the trade row. It's going to do 5 damage, and when you get rid of it, lets you draw a card. You may acquire a ship or a base of cost 3 or less for free and put it on top of your deck. Very useful one. Also, it's going to allow you to draw a card. Gain 4. Very useful. And then target opponent discards a card and then draw a card. And then you got the final red one, Chancellor Hartman, which actually looks really cool. You may scrap a card in your hand or discard pile, and then also you get to do it again. So love the hero cards, but we'll talk more about them in the pros and cons. Next, you are going to get the faction pairs, and this one you're actually they're broken up into 2 separate decks. So you got 2 of these little helpful cheat sheet cards here. And how this works are, each faction is actually going to be triggering, or each card is actually going to trigger via 2 factions. So this one would be green and yellow, and this one would be red and blue. So how this works is this card will trigger anything that is yellow, or it will trigger anything that is blue, or both of them. Likewise, this will get triggered by anything that is yellow or blue. So these are incredibly versatile cards. We'll go over a couple of them. Alliance Transporter costs you 2, you gain $2. If you have a yellow, target opponent discards a card. If you have a blue, you gain 4 health. And yes, you can unlock both of those. Really cool. The Unity Fighter, one I like a lot, very versatile. Cost you 1. You may scrap a card in the trade road, do 3 damage. Not that impressive, but when you trash it, you can scrap your card in your hand or discard pile. Next, we got the Alliance Landing. This one is automatically going to be giving you $2, and if you have a yellow or a blue, you're going to do 2 damage. So let's get some of the expensive ones. Let's show you something meaty. So this one, the Embassy Base. This is yellow or blue. It's a 6 right there, and it's going to allow you to draw 2 cards and then discard a card. Very, very useful. So let's see another one. The Lookout Post. This one's going to allow you to draw a card every single turn, and 6 outposts, so they have to attack it. The Union Cluster, green and blue. It's always going to be doing 4 damage, and you have a green or blue. You're going to draw a card. This is one that I always try to get because I love playing with green/blue. Union Stronghold. It's going to have cost you 5, do 3 damage. If you get a green card, scrap a card in the train road. If you get a yellow card, target opponent discards a card. Very annoying card if you're playing against it. We'll look at 2 more here. We got the Blob Bot, so it's red and green, obviously. 5 damage, 2 gold, and if you have a red, scrap a card in your hand or discard pile. So if you have this card and you start going red or green heavy, that can end the game rather quickly. And then the exchange point, we'll look at this one. This one's going to cost you 6, do 2 damage, and scrap a card in your hand, your discard pile, or the trade row. So that one's going to give you some options there. So those are the faction pairs. Pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to shuffle them up and mix them up. Also, I forgot to mention, you're just going to shuffle these up and mix them up. Now, the big different one we have here are the mission cards. Now, I did not like the event cards, so I was a little bit skeptical about the mission cards. How this works is, at the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 3 of these mission cards. And if you're able to complete a mission card on your turn, you'll flip it over, you'll reveal it, and you'll actually gain the ability down there. So play a blob ship while you have a blob base in play. If you do that, you do 3 damage, scrap any number of cards currently in the trade row, and then you would get rid of this card. So this one, Influence Mission, have at least 3 ships and or bases of the same faction in play, acquire 2 explorers for free, and put them both into your hand. Into your hand. So it's going to gain you 4 coins and 4 damage if you decide to trash them. Really cool one. This one, have bases from 2 or more factions in play, acquire a cost of 3 or less for free, and put them into your hand. Look at a couple more. Diversify, in a single turn, gain 4 and 5 and 3. If you do that, then you have the option to get 4 coins, or deal 5 damage, or collect 6 health. So that one's a really versatile card. Look at one more. Play a Star Empire ship while you have a Star Empire base in play. Do 3 damage, draw a card. So those are going to be your mission cards. They also have an alternate variant where you can deal 5 out and then you decide on which 3 you like. I personally like the original variant a little bit better, but we'll talk more about that sort of stuff in the pros and the cons. Alrighty then, Star Realms United from White Wizard Games. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, let's get the obvious thing out of the way. It's $20 and you're going to feel like, man, is this really worth $20 what I'm getting here? They got kind of like the microtransaction thing going on that they have for mobile games, where they just, here's $5, here's like 16 cards, here's $5, here's like 16 cards, here's $5, here's like 16 cards, instead of just releasing one big expansion, which I think is what everybody wants. But hey, if that business model works, that business model works. But that's more of a pet peeve than anything. Con side. There's nothing groundbreaking here. There's nothing that's going to be like, whoa, and just blow your mind. They're not really introducing crazy new mechanisms or anything. They do have new concepts and new ideas, which I like a lot, but we'll talk about that in the pros. But there's nothing huge here that they're going to be adding. Any other cons I have with this? I feel like if you got the right mission cards, yeah, I guess that's not a big deal either. No, I really don't have too many cons. Moving on to the pros, this is great. If you like Star Realms, get this. It's just that simple, no-brainer, 100%. So let's talk about piece by piece. So first, the heroes. I love the heroes. I like the original heroes, and I like these heroes as well. And I like the fact that these ones cost a little bit more. But they also do quite a good deal more. And I just love hero cards. I love having this ace in the hole. And I like the fact that when these pop up, before it was always an insta-buy for me. No matter what, I would always buy a hero. But with these guys, they're expensive, and you really need to think about it, because half the money you're paying is to unlock that special ability now, whereas before it was just, oh, I'll be able to use this ability later on in the future. So I like the heroes. Insta add those. Those are really fun, and they add a lot of spice into the game. Next, the faction pairs. What do I think about the faction pairs? I like them. They're cool. I feel like some people might think they're slightly confusing, but luckily they got the little cheat sheet card which you can add in. And they're cool. They really are. There are more cards in the game. There are more ships in the game. There are more bases in the game, which, if you like Star Realms, is what you want. I wish they would have done some... I wish they would have just got their freak on a little bit and added some new mechanisms, some cards that do some completely different, shocking things. But I understand they're probably saving that for a future expansion. So it's more of the same. They're different, but more of the same. But that's a good thing, too, because if you like Star Realms, you're going to like these cards. I will say, though, some of these cards, I feel like if somebody got a lot of these cards, they're going to have a slight advantage over people who don't have a lot of these cards, because this is really going to make it a lot easier to synergize your deck. But, you know, that's the nature of the beast with a deck builder like this, with, you know, where Dominion, everybody has the option to buy whatever cards, whereas this one, you do not. So that's the nature of the beast with Ascension and Star Realms and games like this. So last but not least, the mission cards. I was not expecting to like the mission cards, and guess what? I do. I think it's a really cool concept in the game. And these things really... I didn't like the event cards. I hated the event cards because they just felt random and stupid, but I like these because you start the game and it gives you something to build towards, and it just adds a little extra layer to the game that I like. And I don't know how else to explain it. I would like to see more of these mission cards. I would like to see some really difficult mission cards, but with huge rewards that you have to like build up the entire game to complete something. So overall, these are going to be coming in 4 different packs. I will give you my thoughts on each pack. There's going to be a hero pack. Do I recommend it? 100%. If you like the original hero cards, you're going to like these. They're great. Throw them in there. Highly recommended. Faction pairs. There's going to be 2 different faction pair packs, and I like them. They're more ships. I like the heroes a little bit better, but needless to say, these are very cool cards, and they're just more the same, but slightly different. So those are good too. So thumbs up on those. Mission cards, yes, love them. And if you're looking for something that actually changes Star Realms fundamentally a little bit, this is the one I'd recommend picking up first. But honestly, I don't think you can go wrong with any of them. Star Realms United, for me personally, is a great expansion. $20 for, you know, about this many cards might be a little bit steep. You know what? It is a little bit steep, but still, you know, we love Star Realms, and they know we love Star Realms. They know they can milk this property for long as they want, putting out cool new ships, but still, that's neither here nor there. So Star Realms United, I give it a thumbs up. I enjoy it. If you like Star Realms, go check it out. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know, which faction do you like playing best in Star Realms? For me personally, I love the blue faction. I just love it. I love the fact that you can just string together card combinations where it's like, oh, I just gained 16 health that turn. It just kind of like crushes your opponent's spirits. They're like, ha, I did 20. And you're like, ha, I did 10 and I healed 16. So boom, buddy. But yeah, that's my favorite faction. What's your favorite faction? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.